What's up guys, ATCG here, welcome back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck of the Day. Today we're profiling Kozmo, the newly refreshed by the Banlist Kozmo with 3 Dark Destroyers. Now we can only hope that we get teleport back to 3, but that will never happen. So yeah, the 3 Destroyers gave the deck what it needed, some more power, some more durability against all those control decks. And we have a very control version build. I don't like the OTK build or the Card of Demise build. I think they're very slow for my liking. This is the best one in my opinion. 3 Destroyers, of course, the best card in the deck by far. You can do some crazy OTKs with it by destroying itself, and by not being able to, by being untargetable, this card wins you single-handedly the Altergeist matchup. The only way to beat it is with Hextia with 3100 attack, and you can still float after they destroy it. 1 Eclipser, another untargetable ship, because it's one negates traps against all the Subterror, Altergeist. You can pretty much control their own board. 2 Forerunners. You need a card that gives you back life points in this deck because you run out of life points a lot quickly. It's like running out of mana and magic in this deck, or running out of life points, because you need them to be able to play. 3 Riders. Slip Rider gives you a lot of potential with your Kozmo Town by popping itself, adding whatever you want, popping any back row. You can use it on your opponent's turn, you can use it on your own turn, and you can. Its 2300 attack is a very good amount because it's crushable to many monsters, so you can get the pilot unit from the deck. 2 Farm Girl. If in an OTK build will like play Draghettos, honest, I would probably play 3 in a blind second build, but this deck is meant to go first, so 2 is okay. Same with Tinkan. Tinkan's problem is that you have to start with a ship in your hand in order to be very safe, because if you get impermanence on Tinkan then it'll be very useless. So I don't think you need to. You can run 1 for 1 as well. You don't need more than 1 in your hand. You need a variety of pilots to be able to use their effects multiple times in a turn so you can get more ships on the field. So Sword Troopers is another one that gives you usually Dark Lady from the grave, but you can get another pilot. 2 Stroman gets you one from the banished ones, and it has the biggest defense, so if you have nothing, it's a good card to set against like decks like Trickstars. They can't get over it with 1800 defense. 1 Wicked Witch. This is the stall card of the deck. In case your opponent tries to OTK you and you have to float a ship, then you summon her and you pay 1000 and she becomes indestructible and you can survive another turn. 2 Ladies. Most decks run 1, but I think 2 is better because you can if you use your Tinkan, then you have an option of 3 disruptions like Dark Lady with Destroyer and Slip Rider. So you need to add 1 to your hand, and you need to do this sometimes like 2 times in a duel, so you have another disruption on the field. And she's also a pilot, so that's what the best thing about her, because she feels like a ship but she's not, because you can tag her out for a bigger one. Play 3 Ash, of course. Ash is the most generic hand trap. 3 Kozmo Town, and I also play 2 Terraforming. I think this deck relies on its field spell way too much. Without it, you can't do a lot. Sometimes you even search it with Farm Girl instead of getting a ship. So I think running 2 Terraforming is a good idea, because this lets you mulligan your hand and it gets you back resources from your banish zone. And because you can get back your resources, you play 2 Allure, because this can be free. If you banish anything and you have a Kozmo Town, you can get that right back to your hand, so it's pretty much +1. And you run a lot of darks now with 3 Destroyers. And Kozmo is another deck that relies a lot on its normal summon, so these 2 cards help get you another monster on the field. This one gets you anything, this one gets you Tinkan, so you don't lose after you get like warninged or something. For the traps, 3 Cosmojo. I think 3 is better than 2, because you run a lot of ships that use their floating effects, so it's not just 1 disruption, it's 2, or maybe even 3. If you have like this set with a pilot and a destroyer, you can tag out the pilot, get your destroyer on the field, pop a card, use this, banish another card, so that's 2 disruptions, and your destroyer gets you a Slip Rider, so you pop another back row, so you can destroy 3 cards with just 1 card. So I think it's a very powerful card, and it's non-targetable. It can also banish from the graveyard, which sometimes is very useful against some combo decks. Against Luna Lights, if your opponent tries to go for the Martin play, you can banish from the grave, and this will pretty much put a stop on their entire turn. And for the rest of the traps, play 3 Impermanence, because it's like the most safe hand trap against the FTK, because it can't get cold. and Warning Judgment. These are the most powerful Solemns, and I don't think you need to play Strike. It's a bit risky in this deck because you need your life points in order to be able to keep playing, so I don't think a lot of Solemns is optional for this deck. The extra deck doesn't matter that much. You play 2 Novas, 2 Infinities. These are the ones you summon the most, because with 2 Sleep Riders it's the best one to summon. Durandal is another good card. It can act as another disruption or mulligan in your hand in case you want to dig for something. Volcasaurus can go for game, and if you can game with this, you Gaia Charger on top of it and attack for piercing. These are the Xyz, and the links, you never summon them. The only one you summon sometimes is Borosword and the Linkuriboh, because Linkuriboh gives you the point down, so you can go for some nightmares if you want to draw cards, if you don't really need your Tinkan to banish itself. Borosword gives you some more TK potential. It can switch all your ships to defense, so your opponent won't be able to attack over them. If they have you'll be able to take them. Sometimes you can lose your Infinity, and they will be able to take your ships, but you can just switch them to defense mode and not be able to get stolen. Scaldred is another good one, because it gets you a ship right out from your hand without having to have a pilot on the field. And Pentastack is a card I'm starting to like a lot more in pretty much any deck that can make a couple monsters on the field, mainly because it's a deal sealer against those decks that try to stall. Like, I'm playing against Tricksters, like have Scapegoat or Incarnations and bring back Tricksters from the grave in defense. Having Piercing, especially with Borosword, like this combo is very deadly. You can pretty much ensure that your opponent is going to lose in that one turn attack. So yeah, that's the deck. 3 Destroyers really helped out of the deck. I think it's a lot better now. With 1 Destroyer you had to rely on a lot of it, and if it gets banished or it goes to the grave, you don't really have to run Call of the Haunted anymore, because you have 3, you don't rely on bringing the same one over and over back from the graveyard. With 3 you have a lot more options, a lot more freedom in the deck, so it really gave the deck the boost that it needed. So yeah, that's the deck. Thank you for watching. See you next time.